If you guys have been watching our podcast, you'd notice that we always bring up this term, this phrase. We talk about love languages a lot, right? And we always associate love languages to relationships. But did you also know that there's also love languages among friends? Because as a person, that's just how you give and receive love. Today, we are diving into the language of love with a couple of boys. Oh, it's gonna get so good today. Hello, 你好.
Oh, I'm trying to learn how to use that phrase. There you go, Graeme's laughing at me. It's weird though. Like how the situation we're in right now. So you got to learn the native language of the internet these days. You know, man, I can't make friends if I don't do it. How's everyone doing? It's Table Talk. We're back. Yeah. Okay, that's it. I got no more energy already. Please someone take over. I'm done.
Okay, today we are, you already saw the freaking topic title. I already talked about it. Today we're talking about love languages, but what it's like among friends. And I guess now more than ever, the closer circle of friends you have to you makes you really think about what you're doing to, make them know that you love them. Today we've got two handsome young men. Some of my favorite young men, if you ask me. We've got our producer showrunner Jeremy with us. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello.
Fondly known as Jammer, yes.
I don't know how my name converted to that.
It's so beautiful. And we've also got the one and only, hailing from the eastern side of Malaysia, Mr. Graeme Tan. Hello, Graeme.
Hi, everyone. Hello.
This is your second time on the podcast?
Yes.
Oh, how are you feeling about it?
Nervous, because I kind of know what's coming up.
Yeah. It's good. It's good
scared.
to really
I'm a bit
reflect
scared,
on your wrongdoings.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so quick touch base moment, because we always do this, right? We are before this, we supposedly were in our final week of MCO, and then things were supposed to open up on the 28th of June. Or after the 20th of June.
I mean,
right now, with the new phases and recovery plan, does that mean that the 28th of June is off the table already? Like, what's the situation?
So, by that whatever thingy that is, we must have the recovery plan. Sorry, we need to hit 5 days consecutively of 4,000 cases or less for us to go to the next step. But what are the cases yesterday? Why not share with us?
Okay, so 2 days ago, it was back to back, it was 4K. Yesterday, we went up again to 5.2, and really, we're just reaching for the stars, if I would say. Graeme, man, what you're feeling about this?
Graeme, let me hear your wisdom.
I think for me, we might be stuck here for a little bit longer. I think we might be stuck here for a little while. Probably another 2 weeks, then only we'll see a decline. That's my gut feeling.
I mean,
hate it.
Am I surprised? No. Did I call it? Yes.
Yes.
Oh, y'all didn't believe me when I said, y'all think 2 weeks, over my big round backside, it'll be 2 weeks. Give me at least 3 more months, guys.
We know he's got a big round backside now.
Sorry, my big double round backside. But we talked about it. I mean, everyone doubts it when I say, guys, there's no way it's going to be 2 weeks. And everyone's like, no lah, it's going to be 2 weeks only. I'm like, I give you at least until August. And hey, what? That was even being nice, man. Look where we are now. Where is phase 4? Where is phase 3? Even the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Their phases, they can tell you the deadline when it's going to come out one. For us, it's like,
how to say Okay.
What a great way, to just say it's not our responsibility. Let's just see when the numbers get there. Oh, sorry.
But previously, a few days ago, I also went out. There are people outside.
Why were you going out, Graeme?
I'll get groceries.
Okay, I almost caught you.
I walk opposite my house to get groceries. The cars, banyak.
But it's
I
true.
also a bit scared.
It's true. It's to a certain extent, right? It's no longer, just the ruling party or the people in charge, right? It's our community also babi already, seriously. I mean, if it's you, I'm talking straight to you, don't be babi,
Okay.
Let me whisper into your ear.
So today we're talking about love languages and friends. Jeremy and Graeme are some of the people that we know with a lot of friends.
Oh, sorry, not me.
Oh,
not you.
I put in the guy Graeme with a lot of friends.
Wow, Graeme Maple Story Friends is very long.
Graeme, you are a very sociable person. You're a social butterfly, I would say, right?
Oh.
Would you consider yourself a social butterfly?
Yes.
Okay. Just quickly, in this room of four of us, right? Would you consider yourself a great social butterfly with a lot of friends? Hands up if you think that's you. Oh, okay. Interesting that none of us feel that, because we all feel that Graeme is slightly on that side.
Maybe I can add on to that. I feel like I'm sociable. I can talk to people, but if you say a lot of friends, might not be the case. Like, I know a lot of people, yes.
Okay.
But friends,
so you're saying that you're a lousy friend?
No.
We're gonna dive into that one. This week's topic is actually inspired by Qpix from the Discord server that we have, and she wanted to know about love languages, but we felt just instead of talking about that in a relationship setting, let's open it up to really friends and the people around you, right? So let's kick it off. What are the love languages? If you guys have no idea, there are 5 languages of love. And when I say that, it sounds very like, beautiful and it's very deep. But it's just basically 5 things that you can give and receive or perceive love. And they are words of affirmation.
Money,
so for example,
credit,
if saying
bubble tea, fast food. Basically, these are the 5 languages.
So the words, the love languages are: number 1, affirmation, telling somebody, I think you look great today. Acts of service, maybe you are ironing their clothes for them to look great. Receiving gifts, you give or you give that person a new gift and be like, oh, this will make you look nicer, right? Quality time, spending time with that person, sitting down, eating dinner, anything. And physical touch, hugs, kisses, bro fists, just a tap on the shoulder and be like, yo, good job, man. Stuff like that. It's all just love languages, right? So, quick fire round for y'all. What are your top 3 at this point in time? Since the last time you took the test, it changes, guys. It doesn't always stay the same. Yeah. Right. So let's start with Jeremy.
Oh, way to put me on the spot.
The man of many languages.
What my love language is. But for me, I think quality time is very important.
Oh, Jeremy.
With the people around me.
What a sweetness.
Acts of service is also another thing. Like offering help when in times of need. And I guess affirmation is my third love language. Just between people. Like, these 3 things to me are very important. But to me, the most important is the time. Like the time spent with my friends.
Number 1, that's number 1. I see. Okay. Let's move on to Ming Han first. Let's move on. Ming Han, what's your love languages?
Wow. To be honest, the other day we were doing a personality test, right? And everyone's test kind of like changed because, and mine especially changed because we were spending so much time at home and things are just in a different position. But I think love language for me doesn't really change much. I do feel that acts of service touch me in the inside parts. Okay. I think acts of service, but it's not like you got to do certain things, to win my heart or something. But I feel like the genuine stuff that goes alongside by side with this is, I consider receiving gifts part of acts of service as well, because receiving something, like, it doesn't have to be a physical gift, but it's like, you do something with a very honest intention behind it. I feel that's very big to me. And of course, last but not firstly is physical quality time.
Shit.
What
the smacko.
I do enjoy quality time with people. And what we do in that time, I guess, can be literally anything that I would say, it could be any of this, acts of service during that time, physical touch during that time, only with 1 person in this planet.
Of course.
Or 2 or 5, never know, for some other people. But yeah, I think to me, the acts of service and receiving gifts are quite tight, closely together. Okay, what about Graeme? Then we wrap it up with you.
Yeah. Graeme, let's hear yours, Graeme.
This one, maybe I can share. It changed. Mine, changed. 2 years ago when I did
physical
it.
touch me more.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Previously, when I did it, physical touch is number 1.
Top tier, number 1, yeah.
Top tier. Now, as of March 26th, when we did it, which means you will share the story later.
Yeah.
it dropped to number 3 already now. So number 1 is quality time.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Sorry, continue. Yeah.
Quality time. Number 2 is acts of service. Number 3 is physical touch. But I think I have the results right here in my email. I just open it up. One thing that I can share that I feel like previously is not like this one. Previously, I get like scores in all. But this one, I get a 0. Go on. Receiving gifts.
You don't feel anything.
Like, I don't know. I did the test, but it came out like 0.
Yeah. I mean, the test doesn't mean you don't feel love. It's just that it's probably lesser than the others. I
think for me, when it comes to gift, like a bit not my language.
Understand.
Cool.
Yeah. I think we all speak different languages, yeah. For me, it's words of affirmation, touch, and I think it's a tie between quality time and actually the 3 of them are just like in tie after that. I don't really care. It doesn't speak that much to me. Like acts of service to me, just like, oh, thanks, nice. Gifts, I'm like, oh, but people usually don't know what gifts to give me, so I'm just like, I'll just give up lah. So maybe quality time. Affirmation and physical touch are probably my favorite. Because okay, among friends, right, quality time is very high for me because I don't like spending time with people. So then, in the adverse, if I do spend time with you, I like you a lot, or I don't mind hanging out with you. So that's different ways that you can understand the love languages. It's not just that, oh, I have to spend time with this person, that's why it's one of my highest love languages. But if it matters a lot to you, if you guard it very closely and only do it with maybe a certain group of friends, then you know that's really a very strong love language, right? So, now that we all kind of know each other's love languages, right? Have you guys... do you guys apply your love languages in your friendships? Do you think that you have been active in doing that? Because a lot of the conversations we had on the podcast, right, have always been geared towards being a better friend in your circles, being a better individual in your community, right? And one way to really help people feel loved and empowered is by utilizing the love languages. So, open question to all of you guys. Do you think it's important to exercise the love languages with your friends? Not just your loved ones, your friends.
For me, I think I do lah. Especially now, now that all of us are stuck at home, I think I have the same sentiment as Mingyu as well. Where he shared like, when quality time is so important to him that when he actually spend time with you, then it shows that you're important lah. For me, it's on the flip side.
Is it? I
sorry. Haven't gone into story yet. Later. But for me, it's receiving gifts. Because for me, gifts, I'm not a person who's very good at giving gifts or even thinking about giving people something. But if that person is really important to me, then I will find myself taking time to think and, hey, actually, what can I get for that person? So if you receive gift from me, actually, I went through quite a tough journey to get you that gift. The whole thought process, because it's not my strong suit. It's not something that generally I would like, hey, let's get him something. So if I found that about myself lah. So like sending people food, thinking about sending people food, or just like sending people stuff. That to me, I only do it to like important friends lah, or people that I really
You never do to me before, miss. I'm not important.
Oh shit! Oh,
I'll send to you tomorrow. Sorry.
This is one of my love language, uncomfort in awkward situations. Oh, I'm so loved now.
Jeremy, what about you? Have you been in touch with your friends? Have you been exercising any of these love languages, or you just like you got to suckers wait for me?
Oh, I think quality time. I did spend quite a bit of quality time with a few of my friends. Just talking about life and watching shows and stuff like that. So I guess that's something that I think. Affirmation, I really can't do much affirming these days. Like between
why
friends. No, because like there's nothing much to like.
Nothing to affirm about.
Good job, you survived today.
Good job.
Yeah, good job. You survived
good morning.
And yeah, I guess acts of service here and there, I guess, like, helping out a friend or stuff like that when I can. Yeah. That's about that for me.
Minghan, what about you?
Hey, Mingyu, you go first because I got something interesting to add to this.
Okay.
To segue
for
into.
me, I think I've been in a really weird space just in terms of like social energy and who am I as a person. And I'm hitting a wall now where I know I need more human interaction. Like, I'm really, really good alone. I love being alone, but I think I'm at a point now after like, weeks on end being alone in the house, right? Sometimes because I'm an overthinker and I have anxiety, the thoughts get really loud, and sometimes it gets like, it's overwhelming sometimes. So
like you can hear someone in the bathroom, they're kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, a lot of my reels are actually just based on conversations I had in my mind.
Oh, damn.
but I think something for me that I realized has been helping a lot is that during the daytime, even though we're really busy with like certain things at work, right? One thing that gives me joy is the conversations that we have on our like between the team. So what we do, we practice this rule where on our work Discord server, we all go into the room and everyone needs to turn on their camera. Like no matter how crappy or ugly you feel, right? You have to turn on your camera. It's a rule for one of the rooms because the human interaction helps a lot. And for me, I realized that that's helped me a lot.
Is that why everyone's always on camera in the hot tub?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Everyone is just
out.
constantly like with the cameras on. And then sometimes we'll take a break and like, watch something together. But for me, that's been really, really helpful in keeping sort of like I don't want to say sanity, is a very big word here, but keeping me just kind of like happy so I don't fall back to overwhelming thoughts. So among friends, I think to me, maybe that's the quality time since I can't really do the physical touch or like, the rest of it. So that's the quality time is really important for me.
I think one thing that's very interesting, like we don't really talk much about, right? We always talk about, this is our love language, that's our love language. One interesting thing to think about, right, is not just what you feel is the love language that people show to you, but most of the time we don't talk about the fact that what is your default love language that you are very good at expressing, which might not be your default love language. Because like for some people, right, like for example, one of like for example, Suyen, she's really good at making gifts, but that's not her love language, for example, right? That may be a really good skill. Or like for some people, they're super positive and warm and they love to affirm people, but that's not their love language. Like maybe their love language is like, quality time. Like I think why friendships or sometimes there's different expectations in even relationships is you don't sit down and really think like, okay, sure. Most of the time we think about what is the best love language shown to me, but what is actually my default love language that day to day I practice more often than not, right? Like we all have different skill sets, we all have different preferences. Like for me, I think like, for example, I feel like acts of service and receiving gifts is very big to me. And I know it because like if someone gives me something out of the blue, I'm very appreciative of it. And then I'll go through and think like what Graeme said, right? Walao, what do you go through to get this? What you spend money, or you spend time on this? Wow, seriously, I'm so in depth to you, that kind of thing. But when you think about it, for me, when I think about it, one thing that I do and I'm not conscious that it shows love to some people is like if I sit down and talk to someone and give them really quality time. Because some people like during the pandemic, for example, right? I don't see that as love. I just see that as like, okay, do you need to talk? I'm here if you need an ear. Let's sit down and hash some stuff out, right? See, I don't see that as quality time. And on a good day, that's something else what someone can accept, as a really good thing. But on a bad day, I think that's where things go wrong. Because like even, in our family, right? Most of the time, I'm not really good at affirmation until Haley came about. Then I have to affirm her every day because as a baby, they kind of need to know what they're doing right and wrong, right? So, good job. Well, I never said good job in my life so many times compared to the past 2 years, I don't say that usually. Even in the team, I very rarely say that word good job to anyone, because I'm just like,
it's bad. Some of them have cried,
Yeah,
they do a good job,
Like then, sometimes last time it's like you look at me, I look at you, I'm like, you're getting paid to do this, you want me to say what to you, that kind of thing. So, like, I think this is something that is quite an interesting discussion as well, because most of the time we are not conscious of our default expression of love language. We might be expressing a love language that we don't feel, Like for example, like amplifiers, for example, Caleb, right? I tell you, Caleb's default output is affirmation, like literally to everyone. It's just like, you're the best, you're just everything, wow. But to Caleb, his love language is an affirmation, for example, right? I don't know, Caleb, let me hear me out. But there's something interesting because when you talk about friendship, right, it's not like we're going to go physical touch with our friends. I don't know what kind of friendship you have, if it's all physical touch, but I may have a term for it, but let's not talk about that, Because this is something that one of our community members brought up. Her name is QFix. I think a lot of people talk about this to receive, but if you're really talking about love, we need to talk about giving as well, because love is really about that, right? That really got me thinking, because for example, the things that I do for Suyen that to me, right, don't mean anything, right? She will just like, it means a lot, Then I'm like, hey, did I do something? And then things that I like sit down and plan, I'm like, oh, okay. To me, these kind of things really mean something to me. Then I do it for her. Then she's like, why you give me this? I don't know. So, and then it's like, wow, poke guy. You know?
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe an interesting thing to think about. What do you guys think is your default expression of a love language? Like you don't even realize you're doing it, right? But you just do it. Let's start with the chattiest of us all, Jeremy. Let's.
That was gonna be Graeme.
Graeme. Okay, it's fine. Graeme.
Let's have Graeme.
I think for me would probably be words of affirmation. I think because even when I'm talking to my friends, I always check up on them, assure them, ask how they're doing, especially, and just make sure that they're doing a great job. I think for me, to me is normal. For me, it's like courtesy like that. If after you mentioned that, I kind of think through. I'm like, yeah, I do that quite a lot. Like I always check on people and see how are they doing, and if there's anything that I can do to help them. But by default is that I feel that that's my default way of expressing like I'm here, I care. But if you really think about like how people receive it might be different, because there's people like when I say, how are you to like 10 people, right? Or like checking up on them, then there's people that say, thanks for checking up on me. Then to me, I'm like, I do that to everyone. It's not something special.
I just copy paste.
No. I don't copy paste. Copy paste is bad. Please don't copy paste. But yeah, I write message to them. Then they're like, thanks for it. Really means a lot to me that to know that I have a friend. Then I'm like, oh wow, even something that I do on a day-to-day basis can mean so much more to someone else lah. So I think that's for me.
Jeremy.
Right. I think my default one, right, is acts of service. Like I try to help in any way I can, like to other people. So if someone doesn't ask for it, I will still offer my service to them.
Do you realize that it's like, this is a love language, or it's just like a default? Like let me do lah, just let me do lah.
It's I guess it's also half and half. Like half of it is really because I really want to help them, and one is because since I'm already here, might as well get that running show on the road. So I feel that's it's a default. But it's not necessarily the one I like to receive. So which gives a good discussion between this, because I feel like it's a very good thing to have to know your own default, what you give than what you receive.
Yeah.
So I think that's for me at least. Acts of service is the thing that I would naturally gravitate to rather than quality time or affirmation. Like I feel like that kind of thing I'm not that good at also, but I like to receive it. It's very weird.
Oh, interesting.
Mingyu, what do you think is your default output?
My default is definitely words of affirmation. Like I'm very particular with words in general, and even when I do use words of affirmation, I try not to make it too general. I try to make it very like specific to a person. I won't just say like, oh yeah, you look good. Like if I'm like, especially with girls and guys, right? If they have a haircut and I think they look good in it, I would tell them they look good in the haircut, but I won't just say, oh, you look good. I'll be like, well, bro, your haircut, this one really, it's nice. The fade is crazy, it's good. For girls, I'll be like, oh my gosh, your lashes are, your eyeliner is on point. Like it needs to be very specific to the person, because if not, to them, it may just be like, oh yeah, you're just saying that. So that's why I feel like I'm very intentional of that one. So of course, with people who mean more, and when it comes to maybe special occasions like birthdays, I really sit down and I craft out a message to let them know that they are loved and cared for, and I believe in their potential. That I'm appreciative of the friendship, And
something's coming.
But that's just the things that you do for people you care about, right? Whether people do that for you, it's a different story. It's a
different story.
To set the context, I don't know, maybe why they're laughing is because Graeme just celebrated his birthday.
Correct. And Mingyu a week before that.
Yes, so maybe this will tie in as we go along.
I'll give you guys a very good conversation of how friendships can break down, right? Or like people, just decide to stop being friends with each other. So my birthday was on the 6th of June, right? And of course, a lot of lovely people sent me messages and stuff.
Correct.
And I mean, to be honest, like I've been spending a lot of time with like the most of my conversation and time has been with the team. So to me, the team is like some of my closest friends, right? Like and Graeme is one of them.
Was one of them.
Because we also play.
Was
He
one of
was
them.
one of them. He's chopped off of the list today. So on my birthday, like really interesting like gifts. Like Jeremy dropped me like a message on Grab and he's like, yo bro, go buy something nice. Here's like he gave me an ang pao to buy nice food. Then I'm like, Jeremy, this is crazy, you know. And then we talk about in this group here, Ming Han got me a plant with Su Yan and a plant like a meter, and the plant's very nice and all that. And then Graeme also got me like this coffee blender along with like Sophia and Vel. But on my birthday, it's quite cute. He took a picture of me, put his face on top of the picture, and then just posted and said happy birthday. Like that was his wish for me, you know. In my mind, I'm like,
I go wish you also.
in my mind, it's like this chow meow. You know? I'm like, this guy, what a bird, man. So I didn't say anything. I refused to say anything, right? But I talked to Soph and Belle about it. Then I said, yo, wait until his birthday, and then I'm going to do something, right? So on his birthday, right, I sent him a long ass text message just to be like, bro, you know, just want to say that
Really appreciate you.
we are really appreciative. You know, we're happy that you're part with us. I believe in your potential. You know, we are excited to journey together in life. We're really grateful for friendship with you. He said, hey, thanks, bro. Really means a lot. The next day, right, we were just talking casually. Then I'm like, hey, Graeme, nice, huh? The message last night. Yeah, bro, really means a lot. Then I'm like, must be nice, huh, to receive a message like that on your birthday. I waited 1.5 weeks, right, just to burn him like that. You know?
Wow.
Graeme,
Hey,
but
but-
still now, just happy birthday, Annie.
Following back to what I said just now, I go send you food. You know, I took the time, planned with you, send you food.
Oh yeah. After he felt
it's
guilty.
it's not
After he felt
after.
guilty.
That was the plan. It's not after. That was the
I would
plan
like to say,
since the
Yes, sir.
beginning.
I would like to add on, right? Because I was in that call on the fateful day of his birthday.
Okay.
And he was like, no, I'm going to order you food right now. And it was just a spur of the moment thing. I don't know.
No.
but
It's
not
part of the
What are
fair.
we
plan.
planning?
not
I don't know.
This one is part of the plan one.
Okay.
So
But I think
yeah, I
that's-
mean, expectations. Do you think that's the case, Mingan? Expectations.
I
not
know. So
being met,
this is a twist, right, guys? Or even for me, this is something like I think for me, we said before this, we said like, you know, we have our own love languages, and then we just said that, you know, we defaultly do something, right? For me, I'm really bad at buying gifts. Let's just put it that way, right? For Mingyu's present, right? If things didn't fall into place, right? And I see Mingyu got so many plants, right? And then so Ngam Suyen got in coops with this lady that's like a queen of the plants or something like that, right? And then we asked her like, yo, if you're a plant person, which is the kind of like planting you are like really cool. Then she's like, oh, if you're a plant person and you show people you got this plant, the plant community will be like, whoa, this guy got some
Wow.
coops. And then I'm like, yeah, I need some of that. I don't know what it is, but I need some of that. So, you know, and then like, then she's like, oh, you got to get some of this as well. Then like, oh, I don't know what it is, but give me some of that too, you know? So like we got Mingyu like some setup with like a hydrometer or some shit like that can detect the humidity around the plants. And I'm like, wow, that's it. If the plant community look at your garden, I think the bragging right is like, yo, I'm in the coops, you know? Apparently. But you see, that's
quite
my
dope,
way
really,
of
yeah.
like giving presents. Well, for me, like, here's the twist, right? We all say that we show something by default. But there's also this theory where we always give what we want to receive. So here's the twist. We think that, like, for example, I think that the way I show love is like the way my love language is acts of service and receiving gifts. But the fact that I give so much quality time by default, maybe that is the true language. So there's a twist there. For example, like if you affirm people a lot, maybe your love language that you really want in return is affirmation. Or if you love hugging, you're a hugger person, maybe that twist is like you just want to be held as well. You know, there's this theory like you always give what you wish to really receive. And for me, I don't think about it that way because I don't want to spend quality time for every Tom, Dick, and Harry, right? But when I do think about it, I love the quality times that people spend, like take out of their way. And it really makes sense, you know, because it's like acts of service, receiving gifts, right? For me, quality time is the best present someone can give. Like I don't label it as quality time because to me, like I broke down when Suyen gave me a phone like for my birthday for Christmas for no reason. But if I think about it, I'm like, wow, quality time means someone took their way, did an act of service to get out of their way of their day, gave me their time and spent it with good conversation with me. To me, then that perspective puts a whole other reason, like a whole other thing behind it, you know, how you give it. Like for Jeremy, who knows, the girl that will capture your heart is like, Jeremy, shut up, just sit down, let me do it for you, just let me, shh. Then you're like, oh, hello, mommy, that kind of thing. Then like, suddenly you fall in love with her, you never know. It's weird, but it's a very good way for like everyone listening right now. This is a very interesting to think about, right? Because as human beings, when it comes to love, we always think we know what we want, right? Yeah. Our fallacy is that we always think we know what we want, but our whole system shows us what we need. And by default, you usually give what is the most important to you. If your love is genuine, you give a lot of time. If your love is genuine, you give a lot of validation. Like for Caleb, this guy is, I don't know about his affirmation, like, let's just be honest. Like Caleb give out affirmation like free gift at Pasar Malam one, okay? Like this guy, But this is something to think about, because like if you think about this and you want to use it in the context of your friendships, a very interesting thing to pick up on your friends as well is what do they see the most important that they like if you know, like for me, I know a certain friend that is very willing to go out the way to help fetch people around before the SOP. I know a certain friend who is very willing to get out of the way, like, hey, you need something to eat or not, or you want to do this or not, or some friends who are like on standby if you need help. To me, there is something in that because there's something that's important to them. So they think it's important to you. And that's the twist on it, because we all might think that we have a certain love language, but we and our whole body and being shows another one that's actually more important. So like for everything you guys just said, right? Like for Mingyu and say, Mingyu's love language, and guys, these are like the broader terms, right? There are specifics as well. So Mingyu, in terms of everything that he's shown, right? It's really effort of affirmation. It's like, you gotta be detailed and you gotta show me you put in the work and I feel loved. Like, it's not just about my hair. Which hair? Is it my armpit hair, my eyebrows, my nose hair? You gotta tell me which hair that looks good. Or I won't believe it's true. And then for Graeme, it's like, hey, you just spam copy paste. I just want to hear it every single day. And the cumulative effect of it is like, wow, you truly care about me because you check out on me every single day. I don't know what is in your life, but you check out on me. And for Jeremy, it could be like someone really taking the wheel and like, hey, Jeremy, you shut up and sit down. I'll do it for you. Don't. You didn't ask also, I just let me do for you, And I think that's a good twist on it. You can pick up what you should be giving back to a person. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I think that's all the time I have for today.
I think what Megan said is a very good place to land on for us. When you listen to this podcast, right, what we always try to get you to do is to continue the conversation after the podcast ends. And that's why it's called Takeaway Table Talk. We want you to continue talking about and thinking about it. And so maybe the challenge for all of us this week, right, or maybe this weekend, this week? Yeah, it's a brand new week. Sorry, it's the Monday. This week is, what are the things that you perceive as love being done to you? But more importantly, try to think of a friend or a loved one to figure out what their love language is. If you've never had a conversation of the love language, and maybe it's a bit hard sometimes to talk to them about it, try to think about what is a way you can appreciate this person and to show love language to them in their language that they may understand. Because like Minghan gave the example just now, it's not that the person doesn't love you. It's maybe that you don't feel loved by how they're showing it, right? So maybe like he's just planning for his wife, and his wife is like, oh, I'm okay, I don't really need that. It's like it crushes you, right? So maybe it's just about understanding and getting just getting on the same page, and it's actually a lot easier if you realize it. So maybe that's a good challenge and exercise for all of us to do this coming week. Oh man, Graeme, Jeremy, what are your thoughts? How can we strengthen our friendships, or is there anything that you guys feel is a bit hard to do? Is there anything that you guys feel is
like typing long sentences?
I just find it really really nice that the takeaway table, not just other people can take away, even the guests come on this show.
Really. The guests something to pick one.
Can take away something. So today I take away that I've learned is that I know how to be a better friend, especially to Mingyu. That one is really important.
I'll tell you another story. Yeah. Sometimes, before the MCO hit and everything, like Graeme would sometimes stay over at my place because we have either shoots the next day, or because he doesn't have a car, so he stay over, and then we have like early mornings the next days. A lot of times, because he's such a hustler, he'll be working, just like just working on his computer the entire time, and it's just like we're sitting there in silence. But it's okay for me, Sometimes we have we have group meetings in the office or whatever, and we're all eating together, and people come and hang out, but he's just looking at his computer.
What?
And Makes you wonder, like actually.
I'm working.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, you got me on the show to burn me.
For everyone out there listening, I think this is something interesting. Like, you don't have to be a genius at love languages. It's a matter of communication.
Some of us in this room really not. Yeah. Just kidding.
Number one, I think the real love language is communication. So go and talk.
Oh yes,
correct.
But if all else fails, I think the easiest thing you can pick up is try to just look at the people around you or the people that you've had. Like, okay, things don't seem to be working out of like appreciation. It'll be good to like notice, what does this person do for people, or what does this person usually do to show that he or she cares, and then you could try to do something along the same lines to show them that you care. And then things might just surprise you. Like, you never know how that goes. Like I think something like even within the four of us here, you could try different things along the same line. But unfortunately for some people, love language costs some money lah. So you gotta be creative with some of that lah. Okay,
yeah,
just saying that's a real tough love language. I'm not going to lie, but it's called premium okay, premium VIP
gift service
access. Yeah, gotta buy 1,700 dreams for their love.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something you could challenge yourself. You could. But when all else fails, I think the best language is just language lah. Talk lah. Ask them, how you're feeling. You got to start somewhere, right? You don't just guess and like, hey, accept my love. You don't accept this, you freaking ungrateful person. I'm never gonna love you again. Yeah, that's not love, guys. Just saying.
But I think it's good that we talk about this, because if you don't talk with your friends about your love languages, then you would I feel like they'll never know. I feel like this is a very unspoken thing between friends.
Yeah,
like we will always talk about between
other
partners,
people,
right? Wow, partners like what's your Then you can ask a couple, right? What is their love language? They can easily tell you. You ask you ask this friend of yours, what's their love language? I can guarantee you, 80% of you will have no answer about what your friend's love language is. Yeah. But and that's the fun part about it, because if you don't start the conversation about getting to know their love languages, then I think it's going to be a very strange thing to not be able to cater towards their own love language, yet they also not knowing your own love language. And it's going to be a very back and forth thing of just giving something. And let's say if you're just a giving person, right, you keep giving gifts to them, they're like, oh, thanks, but what do I do with this? Like, you're going to just stack up gifts in your house, and it's not going to benefit your friendship at all. But if you target the right love language, for example, acts of service, right, or affirmation, right, they might be, your friendship might be able to grow into a new level. So I would say, let's just kickstart things this week by asking our friends what their love language is.
And then do something about it. Don't just take the knowledge.
Yeah, don't take the knowledge, but do something with it.
It's like, I really like what's the affirmation. Okay, good.
Okay.
And then you just continue, not doing anything. Yeah, I love that, Jeremy. I think that's such a good way to wrap up what love languages are and how you can be effective at that, because when you think about it, everyone's different, right? And I think that if you accept the fact that everyone's different, then the way that everyone also behaves and how things happen in their mind is also different. And I think this is really a good way to help bridge the communication. Oh man, guys, what a good conversation. Wholesome conversation. For a Monday to kick off your week, man. You know what else is wholesome? The song recommendation this week. It's called, I haven't decided yet. Okay. Life is Beautiful by toy dynamic duo Zion T and Crush.
Wow, what a dynamic
It's a four artist collab. And the reason why this song is amazing, I'm going to let you hear this real quick. Oh, what a bop. Okay, the reason why I like this song so much is that the amount of modulation there is in this song is just, it doesn't make sense. And I love it. Y'all gotta check this out. Life is Beautiful by toy dynamic duos Zion T and Crush. It just makes you feel good. And I think that's what we need right now. Boys, any closing words before we wrap things up? I feel we kind of wrap things up already, but any final words?
Like one of my good friends have always said about love, never felt so good. Yes. So if you got the right kind of love, because you know it would. When it never felt so good.
What's happening? Okay, Jeremy, over to you.
I don't know what I feel about what was just said and what I just heard. So I'm gonna just let it go out my other ear. But
Yes, correct.
I think like this conversation was a great conversation to kickstart this off, and I think we should talk more about like love languages and stuff in another episode. So if you'd like to hear more of it,
Let us
let us know in the table talk.
yeah.
We love this recommendation. Oh, there's so much to unpack. I think we just scratched the surface of
truly,
love
I mean,
language and friendship.
if there's anything people know us as, right, besides content creators, is unpackers. We love
We should
to
just
know-
rename. We should name.
unpack, you know?
We should just rename the table talk to Unpack Box already.
Unboxed. Whoa, unboxed
Unboxed.
podcast.
I love it.
Whoa,
Graeme, and anything you want to say, especially to me, if you want to?
To me, I just want to say I really care for you. I really appreciate our friendship, especially the things that you've done for me, how you guided and lead me.
It's all good, it's
But
all
to the rest of the listeners, just be a good friend lah. Just try your best to be a good friend. Don't
Put
be
your
like me.
computer away when you're
Yeah,
eating
don't be like
together.
me. Just be a good friend. Spend time with your friends. Yes.
If you guys want to make more friends, wow, look at that segue, man. We've got a Discord community server for all of you guys who are listening to any of our shows across the Takeaway Table. Check us out at discord.gg/the Takeaway Table. That's discord.gg/the Takeaway Table. We've got an amazing community that plays games together. They sing a lot on karaoke nights, and they watch stuff together. They talk about life. It's a really good place to hang out and make new friends. And if you want to get caught up with all the latest podcasts and content and shows that we've got, follow us on all our socials. The main thing, 1-2 Juice, the Takeaway Table. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a shout out and we'll shout you out. We'll shout at you if you want us to. Yeah, we'll shout at you. Yeah.
I didn't know we are offering that service now, but
Some people.
Maybe once a
that's
week we'll
love.
do.
There's some kind of love for them. For sure.
Once a week, we'll just shout at some of the people. I think it's important. Okay. But for everyone else, guys, be safe. Have a great week ahead. Let us know if you are going through anything. We'd love to maybe shine some light on it. And, our brand new show, let's unbox, let's unpackage.
Unpack therapy.
Unpack therapy. Thanks, guys, for listening in. Love y'all. Love language. Love.
Oh.
Bye.